Hello, I'm Eddie Bozio. We're here at Bafta, hosted by the TV Collective, talking in conversation with Damian Jones.
I'm Leslie Lee. I want to ask you whether you thought, I've heard it said that concept sells a film. It's a concept of a script sells the film, and because you were talking about how you had some idea, that you start with an idea, so I wanted you to sort of expand on that a bit, if you could, please.
Well, not all good ideas are movies. You learn that too, that the story may be fascinating, but actually it's not a feature film, or it's a better documentary, or it's just better as what it was or is, an amazing story that perhaps isn't worth film treatment. So you have to acknowledge, you sort of have that discipline too, or your script never quite worked, or, there may be, But I do think that when I've felt a project of mine start to come to fruition through all the feedback I've got, both positive and negative, there's normally a point where I can sort of encapsulate that project in less than 5 words. And when I do that, I know that I'm onto something. And it's mainly because when I'm pitching it, if I give someone that sexy sell, I've done their job for them, which they need to go and do to sell their boss. So when I go, Meryl Streep as Margaret Thatcher, Dad's Army, it's sort of there. Belle is harder, but, you get there. So you still got to make the movie, it's still got to be great, it's still got to, be 100 minutes of entertainment, and, you need the substance behind the style. But I do think if by concept you mean, strong idea and a strong marketing hook and sell, yes, that it's very helpful. Mainly because, on the finance side, most people are sales folk. They have to go and sell international territories or sell their UK MDs or whatever. And, people have to see that they can make money out of it, either commercially or in the art house circuit, but still there's an audience for it.
Hi, Angela Ferreira. Really great of you to come to this and speak to us all. So 2 questions in one. How long is it basically from the time you have the idea to the film actually appearing on screen in general? And also, in the light of the hacked Sony emails, how much interference do you get from the studios with what your creative vision is?
It's how long is piece of string is from idea to, or anyone's idea or anyone's script to film. The quickest I've done, through a combination of different reasons and factors was The History Boys, which was, the play had been a hit and there was a window of opportunity to film it in the school holidays before they went on their Broadway or just after their Broadway tour or whatever. So that we did that in terms of, and the script was written by Alan Bennett on spec, and went out to market with it, and the whole thing happened in 6 months, which is amazing and fantastic. Belle took 5-6 years from idea to various scripts to various other scripts to HBO, in turnaround from HBO to BFI or UK Film Council, then blah blah blah. So I think same as Forrest Gump took 12 years. I think. It's sort of, there's probably good reasons too. They're going back to why. Belle wasn't ready, wasn't good enough, wasn't there until, the time it got made. Sony, I don't force you. That sounds just a nightmare. But it's not so much, anyone, and I have no issue with this, anyone who puts money into your project deserves a voice around the table. I'm not saying it should be the final voice or my way or the highway, but they should have a voice. So I don't believe in artists or filmmakers sort of being all protective and precious, unless they're putting their own money in. And if that's the case, then fine. Otherwise, it's a collaborative medium. It's not, unless you're the writer, director, producer, editor, composer, some people are, there are other people involved and you have to respect their opinions. If they're wrong, fine, argue it out sensibly and in an adult fashion, and you'll prove them, you'll win your argument. But I understand, I think, both sides, so...
But can there be too many collaborators?
Yeah, that's up to your producer, or, there needs to be a strong voice too, and there needs to be one vision, but doesn't mean other people can't contribute or help that vision come to or improve on it. But yes, there can definitely be too many cooks, so you have to, streamline that process.
Hi, Kelvin Richard.
Hi.
How long or how far into the process did you bring on Amma, the director, and why her? And split that question again. When it comes to DOPs, obviously trying to get work on productions, is that your decision? Is it the director's decision? And which one overrides the other?
Working backwards. So on DP is again, it should be and has been on my productions decision made with the director. The finances have approval, but it's, sort of I make the decision with the director. And normally I don't even, normally I'm presented. These are the 5 people we're meeting, and unless there's something radical about their CV or terrible story you've heard about how they hire every light ever made or something, you normally, you go with the director's instinct and you presume you can do a deal or whatnot. No, I like the heads of department to be chosen by the director, but on the basis that pool they're choosing from, are experienced, professional, have a good track record, or if not, then have a reason why to be chosen because they're exceptional because of, it's normally out of relationships. It is.
Well, it's the whole track record thing, because then it becomes, as I'm sure you can appreciate, it becomes self-fulfilling, because unless you get the body of work, you won't have a track record. So therefore, how do you break that cycle? I've just shot.
Yeah.
I've just been second camera on a big CBBC drama called Hetty Feather, 10-part series for BBC, and it was the producer that actually argued my case to get on, even though I'd actually shot, the last thing I shot for BBC was Bafta nominated. So you feel as though, actually, if it comes down to financiers, I'll never be known to those financiers, so therefore I'll never get a chance to break into the next level. And that will go for any head of department. So it's a case of how that can change. Like, for example, I believe Amma hadn't done much work from her last thing to Belle. So that's, for me, that was an inspired choice.
Yeah.
So there I'd say, well, why her? Because I'm sure there would have been other people that might have been well suited.
Look, I mean, I'd been a fan. I'd met her back in Way of Life days and been a fan. And our careers or whatever drifted in different directions. And then when the script was in a place where it was to find a director, and Amma worked on the script too. I loved her writing and I'd loved Way of Life. Obviously given the subject matter, there was an interest in a female director, black female director. It ticked a lot of boxes. BFI liked it. But she talked sense. I mean, she was hard because she was talented. She's steeped in Jane Austen. She loves all that period stuff. So it was just a good
Was there any pushback against that decision, or was that down to you at the end of the day just to push it through?
No, there were people who didn't finance the film not because they're racist, but from their business models, they were like, I can't sell this in Germany, Japan, or wherever because it's got a black lead and it's got a black director and a black writer, and it's just, I can't. Now they're wrong and they all regret. I actually bumped into the bloke who was saying this. And he was like, that film is fantastic. I was like, I had no idea. And Bankside, who sold it, who did sign up, they felt all those issues were what was exciting about it. They were like about breaking down those doors rather than sort of keeping them closed. So, but I had to go on a long journey to find Bankside. We had a lot of no's along the way.